Mark, thank you for joining me today. I'm excited to chat with you. It's good to see you. I think this is actually the first time we've ever seen each other. We've talked to each other several times.
Glad to see you virtually.
So tell everybody about you and about RSPN and what you guys do.
Sure. My name is Mark Stewart. Um, my current company, RSPN, provides support. There's a name for what we do, but we provide support for small to mid-sized businesses in the IT sector. So we provide support as a service. We work with our customers monthly and keep all their IT equipment and applications running so that their business can continue to thrive and grow.
One of the things that stood out to me when I was working with you and your team on their LinkedIn profiles was preventing IT problems before they start as sort of a tagline for you guys. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. We see a lot of groups wait for something to break, then they send a tech out with a tool bag and they wrench on it for a little bit and get the user back up and running again. Our goal is to get rid of that downtime that the user might experience. That's time that is costing their company potentially revenue from their companies being decreased. We like to get proactive and keep machines patched up, look for problems they're going to hit us, old hardware, that kind of thing, and get the customer on a rotation where we keep their hardware and software up to date.
You started multiple successful businesses, and RSPN being the latest one. Can you talk about why you've kind of gone that entrepreneurial route in your career?
Sure. So out of college, and that was more than a couple of years ago, I started with a large company, 45,000 people, I believe it was, and young, full of energy, all that. And I watched the people on the inside of that company spend more time with politics and positioning themselves and all that, and way less time actually getting things done, which drove me crazy. That same company went from 45,000 people down to about 5,000 people. And I'd been talking with a good friend, a marketing friend, and I've always partnered either with a good salesperson or a good marketing person. We've been talking about putting a business plan together, and we're going to launch a new company. I was trying to get the package from my current employer. They were giving out really nice, 6, 8, 12-week packages to leave, and they wouldn't give it to me. So I ended up having to quit and just jump ship and started my first company up. I was 26 at the time, and that started the bug. It was up to you to fail or succeed. It wasn't up to 14 managers and a bunch of other people that could prevent you from succeeding. So it just worked out well. We had fun. It always helps to have a good sales motion, a marketing motion, and those partnerships are something I've always looked for.
So why start RSPN?
So this is a similar model to that I ran a long time ago. At the time, we were called system integrators. The official term today is managed services provider, but we tend not to use that term. Customers don't get it. So our goal here was to get a good foothold in our local area. We've got some great customers established 3 years later. An important factor to me as I age in my career is having fun with the customer. If the customer's grumpy all the time or always complained about something, it's probably not a good fit for us. And to a client today, we could go out for beers, we can chat. They're pretty understanding as long as we keep our end of the bargain up. It's all good. So for me, it's as much about having fun with the job as it is the job you're doing, having a passion to grow a company.
That's the thing I try to keep reminding myself as a business owner is have fun with clients. If you can't enjoy working with them, then what's the point? The reality is you're not always right for everybody.
Right. Correct.
As a founder of multiple businesses, obviously you've built lots of teams. What do you look for when you're hiring a team?
Self-starters mainly. Somebody that can get up in the morning and get after it and don't need a lot of direct managerial direction.
Mm-hmm.
They need some high level, where are we taking the ship to? But and I found that in our current company, we've got younger staff that, boy, they're highly motivated and they just get up and get things done, which is key to me. We're working remotely. We're working out of our houses. We do have a small office in town, but it takes a certain mentality to be able to get up, work out of your house, and keep pushing things along.
Now, the previous business that you had was not fully remote, was it?
No. Previous business was with healthcare systems,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a call center set up, helping them with trouble tickets every day. The IT staff with trouble tickets.
So with this current setup being mostly remote, was the pandemic kind of the driver of that, or was it something that you felt like you could just do remotely to keep the overhead low?
It was interesting. In March of 2020, if I get my dates right, the same month that COVID hit, we were getting ready to sign a lease for an office space, and we were all going to show up there and work. And then the next 2 years were kind of interesting after that. So we've been working remotely prior to the whole COVID thing anyway. And now it's just kind of like the thing to do.
Yeah.
If I had to go back into an office and sit and stare at a wall somewhere, I couldn't do it.
What makes your team successful working remotely?
The tools, for one thing, are really important. We rely on Microsoft Teams a lot. We've got a constant chat session going off on the side. If somebody needs a hand, we're always there to jump on and screen share with each other. So it's really a team collaborative environment. Typically, somebody on the team has seen the problem before, and we can get it fixed together.
What advice would you have for somebody that is considering starting a business?
A few. That first sale, that time to first sale is really important. I see a lot of younger entrepreneurs, even older entrepreneurs, to start up, they go out and buy a bunch of new computer gear, they buy a bunch of network equipment and printers and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, save your money for the sales motion. The old laptop in the corner might be a little long in the tooth, but don't blow a bunch of money on infrastructure and that kind of thing. Start up lean, but get out and talk to the customers. Everybody's got great ideas, but they're not all sellable. Find out if you've got a good value proposition before you get too far into it. So for us, it's always been, let's get that first client.
It's fascinating. When I got my first client in 2014, the first thing I did after I finished writing her resume was go out and I bought the most expensive computer I could find at Best Buy. In hindsight, that was probably not the smartest idea, but I also at the time wasn't looking to do it full time. I was just like, let me make this a profitable hobby. I need a new computer. But then the upside to that is up until last month, I was still using that computer 8 years later. And
the one sitting on my desk here is 8 years old, still fast. It's one of those where probably walking a fine line where it's going to break in the middle of a workday someday, but whatever.
Yep.
We'll deal with it then. But
last question for you. If you had to pick one song to describe your work style, what would it be?
One One song. You didn't prepare me for this one.
I know I don't tell anybody about this one.
Oh boy, it'd be one of the old 70s bands, probably. One of the crazy Steppenwolf or one of those guys, one of the fast moving songs. I'm not sure I could pick one, to be honest with you. But it's just one of those highly charged old headbanger kind of groups, you know.
There you go. Well, Mark, I appreciate you joining me today. It's good catching up with you, and thank you for your time.
You got it. Have a great weekend, Franklin.